would never bark. Movie shows, they tear apart. Dimensions clash, they ignite the spark. Couch debates, turn the volume up. Set the chaos over for the cup. Alien worlds and twisted scenes. Banter spreads like electric dreams. Outer dimensions ride the wave. Trade days set flames ablaze. Discussing bits and cosmic plays. Beyond the stars they find their praise. They find their praise. Ripping through the deep.
Welcome back again to the Outer Dimensions podcast, where you got two crazy brothers jumping through all types of dimensions and realms that you can possibly think of. And we chop it up when it comes to movies, music, and much, much more, guys. Welcome back. It's the first Outer Dimensions of 2026. The first one in maybe, 6 or 8 months, possibly? Something like that, maybe?
I think it was 8 months. It's good to be back.
That's where the 6 or 8 comes from.
Exactly. Or 6, 7, as my wife would make jokes about with the kids.
I still don't know what that means. But
it's stupid. Don't even try. But it's good to be back. We did a little test stream a couple days ago to make sure everything was doing well. And, we're going to be doing this not as often as we were doing it before, because like Dave and I said last time when we did our test stream, if y'all watched that, it was, we're busy. So like next week is the Rumble and we're not going to be watching. We're not going to be talking on this, but we'll probably be back every other week. And then there'll be some weekends that we will try to maybe have like a recorded episode to go out if we were going to be doing it like that. We are going to be covering more TV shows, more current TV shows. We're going to be covering a couple of other things, but staying within the realm and maybe dipping in and out, like Dave and I talked about that day. But it's good to be back. It's good to actually have a little bit of an outlet in this, albeit crazy time between hellish blasts and everything.
But if this is your first time tuning in, we need to introduce ourselves.
That's true.
We got Dre the Geek Dad, a.k.a. Sentai Sensei, a father, a YouTuber, an educator, lover of all things Sentai anime. It's the one true tribal chief of the Outer Dimensions podcast, Dre the Geek Dad.
I love when a plan comes together.
Hey, there you go. Hey, Hannibal. And, of course, wait, I clicked on the wrong one. There you go. A dimension hopping, pop culture loving, Ghostbusters 3D printing enthusiast from the flip side. Of course, I am Dave's Dimension. But yes, Dre and I have been doing this for a couple of years, and we have taken some hiatuses, or hiatuses.
A hiatus. I think a hiatus. We've taken multiple hiatus.
Is it hiatus? Hiatuses?
I guess I'll have to ask.
Or is it hiatus? I don't know.
I think multiple hiatuses.
Life gets in the way at times. Life events will happen from time to time. There may be some more happening this year, but we'll keep you guys apprised and abreast of the situation. Giggity.
Well, I like the way you said that. Abreast of the situation. Look at Dave. These are some big boy words. I love it.
Hey. Speaking of words, let's go check out the chat very quickly. We got Rogue Demon Collects. We got Ultra Cardazilla in the house. We got Rogue and Ultra having little conversations back and forth. Snowstorm. I'm in Buffalo, friggin' New York.
We're getting an Arctic blast.
We are about to get hit up here again too. Everybody's freaking out, but not me, because man, I've seen 8 hours. I've seen 8 feet in 8 hours before. We'll be good. Plus, I know I'm not going to miss any work because I work from home. So no snow days here. Everyone's saying hello to everybody else. Also, Master Kaikilius, thank you for popping in. He's in Oklahoma watching the ice fall. Miserable.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be getting. I'm near you in Oklahoma, Kaikilius. So my heart goes out to you. Stay warm, stay safe. Hopefully you keep power.
Okay, so we are going to get into now. Those who know us, we don't cover brand spanking new movies. So this
Not
is
all.
kind of a rarity for us because these are relatively more current films that we're going to be discussing today. The best of 2025. A lot, and we do have a lot in the slate. We always like to do, we like to compare originals with remakes a lot of times, or some fantasy picks. Like we did our multiversal superhero villain mashups before, so we have
Well,
a lot.
don't forget we did our Expendables. We've done quite a bit. I think that this is going to be fun because I felt like we needed to start the year off because a lot of people reached out to Dave and I individually and as together. They've asked us like, what did we think of this film of last year? What did we think of this? And Dave and I, obviously,
Duff in the house.
what's up, Duff? Dave and I are very. I would consider us both cinephiles. I think that we both love watching movies. I'm more of the
I love Cinnabons. What?
Well, yeah, I know, like
cinephiles. Okay,
cinephiles as a scene at CINE file, and we both love talking about movies, but we talk about it together. Like, Dave and I'll go see a film maybe the same day, ironically enough, and we'll talk about it. But we've never we've done this once before. I think we did this back in 2023. We did one of these for 2022. So we haven't done one of these in a long time. So this is actually a lot of fun, especially with last year and with this year being a big movie year, between Supergirl being announced, between
what?
Now, hey, don't. I'm not a Motu fan as big as everybody else is. Motu, you got Supergirl. We have Brand New Day Spider-Man that me and Lana are looking forward to going to see, and Peanut. Don't forget, we got Avengers Doomsday. We have a plethora of films that are basically going to are going to be some of the big movies of the year.
Marvel: The Return of Robert Downey Jr. That film.
Hey. You can talk all the smack. I mean, there is going to be a Motu episode because I really, 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 I think I need to. We would have to invite a couple of people like Cobb, and maybe we'd have to invite maybe Kenzo and possibly get Mega J on because
you're leaving one person out though.
Who?
A repeat guest of the Outer Dimensions podcast.
Oh, Brick, of course. Brick would have to come on that episode.
Whoa! Wait until I tell her.
Oh, Allison, that is true. Allison would
retro
actually
toy princess.
Well, here's my thing.
I mean, Motu is like her. That's like one of her jams. I mean,
it is, and I don't. But see, here's the thing. I don't feel Allison. When I look at the stuff, I think of retro toys. I don't think of. I know she loves
Wilson. Wow.
Of course, Dave's going to talk this up. In any event, I know going into this, I would be on the panel by myself defending why I don't feel this movie is going to live up to the hype. But I was wrong about Superman. But Superman is a massive, massive IP. Not saying Motu's not. But
let's be honest. Superman started in 1939 or something like that. The original comics,
that's around Action Comics.
So yeah, from the 1930s, whereas He-Man really has, the zenith of Masters of the Universe is really from the 80s. Again, in the early 2000s, it started to spark up again. About 5 or 6 years ago, we had about 4 years ago, we had the Netflix series. Revolutions and Revelations, accordingly.
That was pandemic era. We had we had Revelation
5-6 years. Yeah. So I mean, I get that not everyone's into Motu. I mean, for me, I did watch the cartoons as a kid.
Did I. Had the toys.
And, I did have a couple of figures, and it always resonated for me because I love those otherworldly. It's in the same vein of Thundercats. Let's be honest. So, I mean, for me,
I'm gonna leave it alone because I know I'm gonna piss off a lot of our retro fans, and I'm not trying to get that hate.
There you go, Master Kaikilis is like Supergirl is hot as F. Looking forward to it.
She is 100%. I love her. I love her actress. She was great in House of Dragons. I'm mad because
But-
we're forced to wait another season, and but again, we'll get into that at a different episode
But,
when we start covering.
I mean, I'm definitely going to be down for Supergirl, but I'm more excited about the main man being in it.
see that's not the reason to be into it, because he was not in the comic book. He was supposed to be, but he's not. And again, that's another thing. We will get into that closer to when that movie comes out, because more than likely I will go see that twice. Because I will go see it.
Dre will always die on his pile of comics, because if something is not comic accurate.
I don't know. It's not that it's not comic accurate. I like the fact that James Gunn said that this film is dipped its toe, much like Walking Dead, much like several other shows, dipped their toe slightly into the comics. Because with Walking Dead, we got Negan, the Governor, and several other great characters. But then we also lost a lot of it when they wanted to do things for television. Supergirl, I kind of like tomorrow, is going to be a little bit more of the James Gunnification of it, which I love the music, I love the idea, and linking it to Superman. And then we're going to have other stuff. But again, we'll be covering that way closer to Supergirl, because like I said, more than likely that will be something we will all go see.
There you go. Master Guy Kelly's right there with you. He's a fan of the OG.
Oh, and she was in Smallville.
Yeah.
So we
Helen
gotta,
Slater.
yeah, you gotta love her.
Yeah.
So
She was in everything. She was also in Supergirl, the CW series as well.
yes, she was.
Yeah.
So
she was even in the Flash movie.
we're not gonna talk about that.
Palette cleanse.
Well, he's basically been canceled, so we're not going to talk about that. But as you guys know, the amazing cheat sheet that we love has come back, and this is obviously my picks. Now, Dave and I obviously will go into why we positioned some of these. Dave and I have very similar picks in a lot of different things, with the numbers for
And
where
they might be out of order though.
They're not going to be, and I know that there's a couple of picks that he didn't even choose that are on my list and that are not on his. So I say let's jump into this, because again, I do want to dedicate a couple of episodes upcoming to what some of the newer TV shows that a lot of people have been talking about. So let's get into some of these dope movies, which are, some of them are Oscar nominated right now.
Oh yes,
and won at Golden Globes.
During the wintertime, I am always congested, so I appreciate you asking. This is just, I'm up in Buffalo, New York, and the weather is always just like sinus pressure is like crazy. That's why I sound so congested. I said I stuffed up. I sound like Dolph Lundgren, the original Masters of the Universe.
Oh Lord, he don't.
But here we go.
Interesting. Wow. I did not. I now, mind you, I knew Dave's picks. I try to be a little bit more.
You just didn't know the sequence.
I knew him, but now that I see it, it hurts, because
I mean, I feel hurt looking at yours.
See, he can feel
at
hurt
number 3.
But see, there's a reason why it's number 3.
Okay.
The beginning of last year, we did not really have anything, and Sinners was one of those films that I feel was a sleeper hit. It was one of those where it is, you knew it was a lot of Marvel actors that were going to come into it. We knew a lot of the people were like, oh, it's a vampire story, but it's not a vampire story. It's a slavery story. Well, it's not really a slavery story. It's like, it touches on a lot of uncomfortable tropes, which I think do really, really well in a film that was really a celebration of African-American culture, part of my culture. And it makes me feel good to see a film that really spotlighted, the birth of music. It was almost like a Harlem Renaissance sort of vibe watching the film. Mind you, vampires are in it, but much like when I told Dave I watched it, it felt like the vampires were almost like they weren't even in the beginning of
like
the
a
movie.
subplot to the movie.
It felt like subtext. Now, granted, the movie kind of can say you could sandwich it in there, because in the beginning of the film, you have some vampires sprinkled in there, you think it is. and then like it jumps to the twins, and then it gets into their wider backstory, and then you kind of everything comes full circle. And I think Coogler does a great job. I mean, he did it with Black Panther. He did it with Wakanda Forever. How many people could say they hate that movie? They're stupid. This was a definite love note to the culture, to the idea of the time period, to kind of touching on Bram Stoker's Dracula and the lore of Dracula with like vampirism. And I just think it covered so many things. The music was fantastic. I think it is.
Music was that one music scene where it's generational. That to me, that was one of my high points. But I was just thinking about this, the irony where you have Michael B. Jordan, who is one actor playing twins, which is hilarious because one of his first roles was on a soap opera called All My Children, which is, those soap operas were always infamous for having one actor playing two people. So that just kind of like dawned on me. Like, wait a minute, I didn't think of that before. But
the telenovela, I hate you, but you messed with my brother, my evil twin.
Oh,
they would give them a mustache.
Especially on that show, they had like 4 or 5 people playing the identical twins all the time, or doppelgangers. So it was just weird. But yeah, I mean, Sinners is a great movie. I'm surprised it wasn't higher on your list, but I know Dre. You know, he's got his list. He's got his reasons. Just like I have my reasons.
And like I said, I think my overall for why this film sits lower on my list. It feels, and I might get a lot of hate from people for it. And if you don't like it, you can put it in the comments. And again, this is my opinion. It's worth a grain of salt to most people. But I think Sinners. Speaking, hey, what's up, Mr. Nerd Affiliated? Hey, Archer. I think with this film, why it sits it's still high on my list, but low on my top 3, because there were other films that I think did more. And the fact that I felt that this potentially could have opened up a lot of cool lore and storytelling that wasn't done in a 2-hour film. I was kind of hurt that when Coogler was like, yeah, that's it, I'm not doing anything more. It was a one-shot film. And I feel like that was smart on his part because he has Disney and he has his other projects he's working on. But I felt like you shut the door on a potential goldmine of lore, and that's why it sits lower on my list.
Dre and I have discussed about this movie for hours on end, off camera. I would love to see Coogler kind of say, hey, I'm not going to make any more of these, but I'm going to give you my blessing to continue or explore the universe. I would love that, but that's not likely to happen. We both know that. My picks today are movies that I think they stirred something in me. And that's the reason why I'm going with Superman at number 3. Because Dre knows that I wanted to hate this movie so bad.
We both did. We both talked about this on streams and said we hated. We were seething. Like, oh God, we're gonna go see. We were gonna hate watch this movie. We paid money to hate watch it.
Now, for me, part of the hate was a couple things, and a lot of it's superficial. To be perfectly honest, one was the fact that yet again we're rebooting Superman, which Superman between the TV and movies. I mean, we had Smallville in 2001. We had the Lois and Superman on CW. Okay. We've had 2 reboots there. We've had, of course, back in the late 90s, I think it was, when we had the Superman Returns. Then we had Cavill as Superman, and of course we know the whole debacle with Warner Brothers shifting things. And I understand you want to start things fresh, so it was yet again Superman being rebooted again. So for me, it was like I wasn't completely sold on it. Second, the leaked photos and little video clips that they showed of him in the suit, I still say the suit looks like something someone could have cooked up for a cosplay. Not the emblem, but just the way the lining of the suit, it looked like someone was trying to take like the concept of the New 52 from the comics, and they're trying to go down a different route. I just didn't like the aesthetic of the suit itself. But when I knew that we had Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, I was like, okay, this is interesting. And honestly, I thought he was great as Lex. And,
Oh, he was perfect.
and
Perfect.
he wasn't trying to emulate Gene Hackman or anyone like that. And in an interview, he actually said that his Lex Luthor was Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is someone who is a fan of Smallville, like many of us were. So I mean, I wanted to like, because some of the takes, the one thing that was like, okay, I'm going to give it a chance because it was James Gunn. We know Gunn does not necessarily disappoint. Very rarely has he disappointed in recent years. We had excuse me, I got to sneeze real quick. I mean, we had, of course, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner with that friggin' bowl cut. I still can't get over that.
So,
but I mean, this is a movie I wanted to hate. And I'm sitting there in the beginning, first 20 minutes, I'm like, God damn you, Gunn. Did it again.
Yeah, I mean, he really, the opening just, I mean, I'm looking at the chat and it's like, I don't want to say I hated this movie. I hated the idea, and I think I hated it because Superman was never one of my favorite characters. He never was. When I was a little kid, obviously we loved the concept of Superman. A guy that can do pretty much anything with a weakness to a green rock and magic, right? And it was sitting watching this film, it brought back the memories. And ironically enough, I even told Dave, if I remembered accurately, it was like it was 42 years since Superman had come out in theaters last year, that I was the same age. I took my toddler, I took Peanut and my wife to go see that film. And when I realized that my child, my little Peanut, she sat and absolutely loved this movie, like grew to have a love of Superman. I was like, wow, this is full circle of what my parents did when they took me to go see this. So it had that nostalgia, and then of course the music, the dialogue, there was like I posted it on IG and on Facebook. I told Dave one of my favorite lines is when Superman kind of breaks the thing when he's like, I put one foot in front of the other every day. That's what makes me more human than you, Lex. When I heard that speech, it just felt like a kick in the gut, because at that point last year, I was going through a lot of shit. And it felt like those words just resonated so well. And it's something I think that was probably one of the best lines in that film. Corn Sweat delivered. I feel like he blew the whole.
I mean, everyone did. Everyone did a great job.
Oh yeah, Lois was
playing Lois. I mean, blanking on the gentleman's name who played Mr. Perp or Mr.
Mr. Terrific was amazing. I forgot what his name is too. I'll find out.
But another X-Men First Class alumni like Nicholas Hoult, but I mean, everyone in here was great. I mean, it was a great cast, and they pulled it off. James Gunn once again has defied the laws of movie physics, if you will. We see okay, he's rebooting the universe. This is an already established Superman. This isn't an origin story. I mean, spoiler alert, Superman's father is still alive, so they kind of went a slightly different route with that. You see him in the Fortress of Solitude, and you see his robots that maintain the fortress, which is something we haven't seen in live action before.
But the comics we do.
Well, in the comics and the cartoons, they did.
Oh yeah, the Adventures of Superman. Yes, they did.
Oh, they did it in All-Star Superman on the animated movie that Warner Brothers did maybe 10, 15 years ago. They did it there. So it was nice to see those robots. And of course, My boy Alan Tudyk voicing number 4 was friggin' hilarious.
Jerry's a name too.
No, it was Gary.
Oh, you're
It was
Gary.
Gary's a name too.
And it's Edie Gathegi.
I mean, they killed it. I wanted to hate it, but I mean, they sprinkled in some of the original music with their own takes on it and adding different flavors to it. Gunn with the soundtrack kills it every time. I mean, and the thing is, when you start out like you're gonna reboot a universe, so to speak, you don't expect to see so many heroes or so many main characters in there, but he pulled it off. You know, usually that's something where like we see the main hero and then you might see some side characters, but everyone kept pretty consistent. Like Mr. Terrific is, he's pretty solid throughout the whole movie. It's not like he's 5 minutes or 20 minutes here or there. He's pretty consistent. Hawkgirl, everybody.
They did a solid job. I think it's a lot higher up on my list. We'll just put it that way.
Yes. It's, for me, of the movies we are reviewing today or that we are listing, for me, this is like, okay, each movie is like, okay, how much did this movie resonate with me? How much did it stir in me? Like, what was my overall reaction with it? The other movies I think stirred more or resonated more reaction than this one. Excuse me. Which is why this is number 3.
So let's go on to number 2.
Are you ready, Dre?
I'm always ready. Now here, okay. Dave got to go on his whole why he with Superman. I will say this: we can agree that it was a great film. It was such a great film that I paid to go see it twice. I saw several movies last summer twice. The Jurassic Park Rebirth was the only one I did not see twice, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Superman was one of those movies that, like I said, the nostalgia aspect for me sharing that moment with my 5-year-old as a 5-year-old when I saw that film for the very first time as a kid, and just the fact that the world building, something that a lot of people don't really focus on in movies nowadays, is this idea of world building. Much why Sinners is lower on my list, because it gave us so much world building and then we don't see any more of it and we'll never know. It's left to kind of fan fiction, and as we call it, fantasy booking in the wrestling world. But with Superman, it's like there's the established lore of there were heroes on this world. There's heroes in the galaxy. And we've already, it wasn't like Marvel's MCU. That's why I liked this movie. This movie was very not Marvel. It was like, hey, there are people that exist in this universe. There are established teams. There are established good guys, bad guys. We don't need to focus on that. We're going to focus on this one. And it made it feel like I was like, all right, you're not treating me like I'm a stupid fan. I'm walking in knowing that there's Green Lanterns, that the Lantern Corps exists. I know that there is a start to the Justice League. I know that there are other heroes that are maybe not heroes that are in the dark. That there was a mystique and a mystery, but it definitely was there. And why I chose 2, it was so hard to not put Predator Badlands in there. And much like Superman, there was just this immense amount of world building and homages to so much of the Yautja and the culture of the Yautja. We've always wondered, and I have been a huge proponent and fan of the Predator in the Marvel comic books and the Aliens universe kind of meshing into the MCU, the comic book universe, not the cinematic. And the fact that I've gotten this to be exposed to like the Predators hunting Wolverine, the Predator hunting what was it? Black Panther, the Predator hunting Spider-Man. And I absolutely love those comics. They were so good. And then the Aliens now. Like, this was the perfect way to say, I need to know why the Yautja are who they are. And we've always wondered it. Now we understand it. Because Aliens versus Predator Requiem was kind of, I feel like, the a small window into that universe. Because I always make jokes that the Predator that was in Requiem was a CSI Predator, and we never understood that the different houses had different duties, and on Yautja Prime that they would all do these different things. So we didn't know, like much like the Klingons, each house was kind of had a specialty, and I felt like I got that kind of flavor in Badlands. The relationship between it's Ellie Fanning, right? That was Ellie Fanning, not Dakota.
It was Elle, yes.
So Ellie Fanning as the synth was a great. I kind of liked her duality role that she played. It was a weird. Many people hated this film that were very ignorant, and I'm going to call them out for it. I felt like there was ignorance in this where people were saying, "Oh, it's this weird synth on synth female love." No, it was not that. It was a sisterly love. Go rewatch the film. I've rewatched it 3 times already. It is a sisterly love. It's not a romantic love. And they even hinted, she says, I treat her like my little sister. And I felt like people superimposing this on a film where it was not even a thing, and they grew to hate the film because of that. You ruined any chance of you loving this film because it was so perfect. Like, for me to say a Predator film is number 2 on my list, to call it that level of perfect, I don't know what else to say. It was just that good. It covered everything I needed in a film. Story, you gave me a character I needed to understand. You gave me NPCs that I cared about. And you created a world that now I want to see more of. So...
Is this better? Master Caecilius asked if we can make ourselves big.
You know how to pronounce it. It's Caecilius. Caecilius.
Excuse me. I pronounce it the way I pronounce it.
But, okay, then you watched Doctor Strange with your wife when your very first date. Caecilius. Master Caecilius.
No, it wasn't the first date, by the way. It was just, no.
I thought it was.
No, it wasn't the first date, no.
Then my bad for saying that, but you're the one that y'all saw the movie, Master Caecilius.
Some people say tomato, some people say tomato. We say catsup.
Nobody says that. There's an argument about that, and I will have that with you. No one says that. No one says potato. People say potato.
Anywho,
we are.
Now, Badlands for me was a Predator film that we have never even seen, or possibly most people didn't even think of before.
Maybe they did in the books, right? You read the novels, didn't you?
No, I did not, actually.
I thought you did.
I am a pure movie fan when it comes to Predator. I never read any of the comics. For me, I enjoyed, because it was a completely different take on it, and it felt almost Guardians-esque, because they were you get outcasts, right? He's an outcast. She's basically an outcast, and the creature that they wind up being like their little brother, so to speak, is an outcast. It's a group of outcasts coming together, but when they come together, they're pretty damn unstoppable.
Hell yes, they were.
Okay, and I love the fact that how they wrote Elle having those 2 dual characters, one that is almost like I want to say almost science as a religion, like devotist, like she's all on mission no matter what. She'll even shut down her sister for the
So wait, we talking about the good one? Wait, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Nope. So well, granted, it's been out for a minute. I feel like we can't.
Archer.
How can we?
Those spoilers.
Yeah, Archer, close your ears. Because I mean, like, dude, we can't. How can we not? The movie came out in November. It's been 2 months.
It's
We're well
it's been
within
out
the
for-
rights for spoilers.
it's been out for a minute. Yeah,
No, we don't have to be rude, Ultra. You don't gotta be rude.
you
We'll
can,
just
you can spoil it.
Dave and I. We will not spoil the film. We will just talk around some of the key ideas. Is that fair?
No,
Dave?
Archer says you can spoil. I'll come back. But I mean, it had a different taste to it. You know, yes, Dre went into how they introduced us to the the hierarchy, if you will, or at least that the hierarchy that was unveiled to us on screen. You know, they definitely showed us a lot, and it's very Klingon-esque, where it's the way of the warrior, but you also had right in the beginning, we kind of see the way of the warrior is kind of put off to the side. If you want a Star Trek comparison, it's going the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few of the one, but then this time it was the one that was outweighing the needs of the many. Right in the beginning of the movie, without giving away too much. If you know, Dre, you know what I'm
oh yeah, I know
referring
what
to.
you mean. I know what you're referring to. I think that set the tone so well for this film. Like, it gives you a depth to the character more than just like, are you a predator? Like, you're a hunter, right? And I think that sets a great tone.
And by the way, the weapons were fire.
Oh,
Now I'm not talking about the synth weapons that they're using, because they're the obligatory. They're the obligatory alien type weapons. But no, like the Predator weapons were just insane.
That bow was awesome. You and I both complimented that bow. Yeah. I love that weapon. Out of all of them, the bow is the best.
And I would say, as far as Predator movies go, this is right up there with the first one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. It is right up there because we've had different Predator movies, AVP, your Requiem. We've had, we've had the Predators. We've had different iterations of it, but this one is like, it's like if you had the same old thing for dinner every night, and then something, something sparks, like someone was going to make the same, this kind of give you this to serve the same meat, the same cut of meat, but then it tasted like this is the first time you're having it.
Actually, think about
this was like
chicken.
that.
They fried the chicken and they made that grease had some extra oomph in that grease because it was good.
It is some tasty cornbread that they served with it too. But I mean, this is if you were hesitant about seeing this movie, after you see this movie, you're going to be blown away by it if you have not already seen it. Archer.
Valentine, what was it? February 17th is when it comes out on Blu-ray in UHD or 4K.
Master's asking us, what do we think about Alien versus Predator?
I would rank it below this film because I think
that's better than Requiem, though, in my book.
Requiem, okay, so Requiem, all right. Well, I'm going to deviate slightly because I don't want to deviate too long. AVP was a good film, but I feel like as a standalone film, it was great. When you have Requiem was what I felt caused the spinoffs for Predators, The Predator, to come out because it was more of Earthlings being involved in the Predator's hunt for the alien versus the actual Yautja versus the Xenomorph. Yeah. I want more of that. And I think that this film gives me an understanding of what the Yautja, why they're so honorable, why they are who they are as a race of aliens. And I feel like AVP did a great job of saying humans are the backdrop. They're the meat to these xenomorphs. And that to me, Prey was, I put Prey, Badlands, and Predator all on that level because they were so damn good. Even the animated film that's after Prey, those 4 films, I think, set this universe up for such a great story that can be told, either animated or live action.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
it's open. It's open.
For me, I mean, we've always had in the movies, in the Predator mainstream movies like AVP and everything, we always have like, okay, we got this group of humans, and then we have either a xenomorph or the Predator. You know, it's like a good versus evil. This time, the Predator is our hero. He is the person we're rooting for. It's not like, oh, there's this hideous, grotesque, ravenous creature that is hunting people down or hunting a species down. No, he's out there to prove himself. They gave, and for lack of a better word, they put a face to what's been known as a monster in the movies for what were we talking about? 40 years? 40 years or so?
Yeah.
So I mean, they gave us a face, and I hate to use the term, but I have to use the term. They humanized. Okay, they gave us a character. They didn't just give us, you know, an unstoppable force. They grounded him. They gave him limitations, and this character grows from the beginning of a movie to the end of a movie, which is what we should be seeing in a movie, in a book, in a novel, in any kind of a story. We have to have growth.
Character development? Oh, wait, are you using the word character development that we don't see in a lot of shit?
CD, yes. Character development, okay? You know, character development, I mean, but I mean, this, yes, I know. I was there when those first leaks of how he was looking. I'm like, wait a minute, why does he look like the way he does? But we don't know the origin. We don't know his mother. Instance. Possible spoilers for future stories. Dre and I know what I'm referring to.
Let's give him the wink.
You know, I mean, it's just a great film.
It is.
And that, you know, how Elle's character, her synth that, you know, joins up with him. She's hilarious in some parts. Even she has development in a way, you know.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I mean, they gave us characters that had they came with the meat and potatoes. Okay? It wasn't like, okay, here's your appetizer, now you're starving for the course. They didn't do that. They gave us this is a 12-meal course here, all the way through the entire film. This resonated for me. This is why I picked this over Superman, because we've had Superman stories, and yeah, Dre and I have talked about this before about how, you know, is there or is there not comic book fatigue as far as the obligatory, you know, superheroes that are greater than anything else. This, to me, as much as I enjoyed Superman, I enjoyed this 10 times more, which is why this was my number 2 pick.
Yeah, he was surprised that I didn't put this in my list first, and then I had to rethink my list, and I was like, you know, I do have to put this in there because Dave originally texted me my list. He's like, "Oh, this is your list," and he rattled off the movies, and I was like, "You're right on a few of those, but you're very wrong on missing a few." Yeah. And I thought that was kind of funny that.
But Badlands is so rewatchable, though. You know, sometimes you see a movie, you might just watch it once. But you might, hey, if it's on TV again, or hey, if I'm looking for something to watch, hey, I'll throw this on. No, this is something you're going to want to pop some popcorn, have a nice cool beverage, and sit there, and you're just going to enjoy it. Lights off, just let the action go crazy, and just enjoy it. Badlands.
Get the sound bar. If you have a sound bar, put the background sound on, because
no, you got some good, like, you know, some Beats by Dre. You got some good headphones for that extra sound.
There's a lot of great, and I'll say this because I saw it I saw this regular. I didn't go pay for RPX, but I think that there was so much ambient sounds, and as somebody who plays Arc Raiders and like games where you have to hear those ambient sounds, it's like you get to hear on this planet that's just god awful place to be, but you can hear the water,
worst of the worst. Yeah.
You can hear the bird, like the animal sounds, the jungles, like you hear like
the sound editor definitely needed a bonus after this movie.
Oh hell yes, 1,000%.
But definitely, this is something that is very rewatchable. So I bet that's definitely one of the best movies of the year. We had to wait most of the year to go by, though.
This was a November release.
But,
November release.
But we got a banger in November. And
If you think about
it was
what,
great.
February, last year, it was February, May, June, and July, October, November, and December. That was what we had for movies last year, for the months that movies really came out. Because was your pre-Valentine movie.
Yeah.
Superman was your second
July.
Was early July, was the middle of July.
Yeah.
Because it was like right around my birthday. Then it was Fantastic Four. You had Jurassic Park Rebirth, which is right in June into July, 4th of July weekend.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of good. Last year had a lot of hits and sleeper hits.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Or if you're all set.
Thumbs up.
Our honorable mentions were tied. Don't hate us, guys. Don't
Okay.
hate us.
I feel like there's a reason I want to say this, and I know why. I saw this movie months after it had released on Netflix, and it's funny because both my daughters sat down and watched this film together, and they like, I remember Peanut mentioning it to me, and I was like, I don't know anything about this like crap. I've never watched this film. But because Sony developed it and did the animation behind it, I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. What the hell? So one day I was off work and I sat and watched the film, and I was completely dumbfounded at why I had not watched this sooner. Halfway through the film, I stopped, texted Dave to say, you need to watch this film if you haven't watched it. He's like, why would I watch this film? Were the words in the text message that came back to me. And I said, you need to watch it, not because your nieces have watched it, not because your brothers watched it, but because I think it's that good. And I remember a couple of weeks later, a week or so later, he watched it. This film touches on, when we talk about world building, when we talk about the character development, you're not just seeing character development from the protagonists in Rumi, Mara, and Zoe, but you're seeing it in Gina. You're seeing the villain, one of the villains, actually have his character development. And it's like this perfect symmetry and like pattern of them just being on the same trajectory on opposite sides of it. The music is, it's in my car. We listen to
it's award-winning music because it won at the Golden Globes.
Yes,
and
it did.
everything.
EJ won at the Golden Globes. She's slated to win a Grammy, and they already said that for the Oscars, this film's already got at least 4 Oscar nominations.
They've performed on every talk show that there basically is out there.
And she's done podcasts that have nobody that watches them, just because she wants to be out there telling her story, which, like Dave said, when he gets to his explanation, I know Dave will go into why Dave and EJ kind of like are like, I feel like Dave and EJ are like perfectly in sync with each other. But this story, I'm mad we have to wait 2 more years to get the sequel film, but I understand why.
Take your time, do it right.
Exactly. I want them to. If this took 5 years to make.
Wow, Sony took its time to actually make a movie right. If only they did that with their Marvel-esque properties.
That's what we're getting. Hey, we're not going to get in there. Beyond the Spider-Verse, we're getting it in 2028 finally.
No, I'm referring to Madam Web and Venom and
the animated universe.
I'm referring to that stuff.
I didn't go that way, but overall, this film, I've rewatched it after I had a procedure on the 2nd of January. We came home and I still wasn't feeling well, So I sat in the living room, and my wife never watched this movie, and the girls and I are singing the songs together because we know the words so well. And my wife finally's like, I understand. My wife now sings it because it catches you. And I think that this is the perfect family movie. This is the perfect storm for creating that hit film, and it is this. This should have been my number one, but there was something else that took its place, and it makes sense why it took my number one. But Dave, please go into the reasons why.
Now,
EJ,
I was late to the party, just like Dre said. I was late to the party because I'm like, is this just some kind of kid craze? And honestly, when I said I watched it, I was like, okay, because one, I love demon stuff. Give me some supernatural, give me some old school Buffy, anything with demons. I'm like, I'm down for it. I'm like, okay, I'll kill some time. It was on Netflix, didn't cost me a single dime. Those are the best ones. But the music, as someone those that know me, and many of you don't know this, back in my high school days, I was a DJ. So music is a big thing with me. Good music can make or break a movie. The music on here was, I would almost say, transcending at times, but I like the story. You get these three chosen ones who are, they're supposed to save the world through music, which is pretty cool onto itself. But what really threw me was, like, I liked because after I watched the movie, I actually did some research on the voice talent. EJ goes through something very similar to what her character Rumi does. At one point, Rumi's having issues with her voice. EJ went through that same thing in real life. So it was, for something about K-pop Demon Hunters, it just, I don't know, it grabs you. It latches onto you. Very much like a facehugger from Aliens. But it was just like, and with Rumi and what's the guy? Genu. Dre's gonna hate me for this. It gave me kind of Buffy and Angel vibes.
No, I'm not gonna hate you. It's an accurate comparison.
I mean, it gave me a little Buffy and Angel vibes right there. But it was a solid story. She, not to give any spoilers out if you guys haven't seen it, but there is something that is from Rumi's past that is kind of coming out that she can't contain or hold back anymore. She can't conceal it. And that's kind of that's a big subplot in here. But the visuals, the animation is great. The action is great. I mean, it's fun. You will laugh. You'll get a kick out of it. I mean,
you'd even cry.
Yeah, it grabs you. And I'll be honest, you can scour YouTube, and there are so many videos of grown adults like Dre and I doing reviews, watching, doing reactions to just the music. Golden and Takedown. I mean, there's just what it is.
Free Soda Pop,
or how it's done. I mean, it's
how it's
all
done.
The music is catchy, is very catchy and fun, and it's just, it grabs you. I love the visuals of it. I love how it was written. It was done just right.
It's perfect.
Now, EJ, the young lady who voices Rumi.
No, she singer, not the voice. Voice actor and the singer are two different actors.
Anyway,
people.
She herself has struggled in the music industry after years and years, friggin' years, and now this movie was brought to her, and her and the other singers. Now it's like they're getting a second life. Because let's face it, music industry can be kind of cutthroat at times. Hey, if you're not success by a certain age, you're kind of considered a has-been or never was.
Well, that's also the cultural thing too, because a lot of people don't realize that in Korean culture, if you go the route of and this is not just Korean culture, this is in Asia proper as well, Japan and China. If you become an idol singer, you have a timeline. that you can be in this kind of realm. For anybody that's listening to any K-pop like Blackpink or BTS, or if you've listened to Japanese like Baby Metal or L'Arc-en-Ciel, Duran Gray, these are like a lot of bands that have come over to the U.S. in recent years. But a lot of these people, when they were younger, they didn't have, you had to have a look. This, for men, it's like kind of like this androgyny. You have to look like, practically almost like a girl to really get over, but you're not. And it's kind of a lot of these, a lot of Korean and Asian culturalisms that I think really help you understand the culture, understand the reason why Rumi has to be who she is, and why each of the characters, like if you listen to like Golden, like, I was a ghost, I was alone. Oh, like I lived two lives and I'm trying to paint both sides, but I couldn't find my own place. A lot of young women feel that way. A lot of young men feel that way. And it felt such a great way to talk about this. And, it's just give the music a chance. If you don't like pop music, that's fine. Don't listen to it. But I mean, it's the #1 song in the world.
I mean, they even did skits on Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, with Genu, with Bad Bunny.
With Genu,
Benito, my boy Benito.
I mean, they really went all out.
You can't play it.
No, I'm not playing it. But you actually had them pop up on SNL. I mean, it's a craze that is, is it a fad? I don't know. It's a fun movie. And it's not that often that we get that nowadays. We don't, we get movies that are like, okay, it's a Marvel movie, we're gonna go see it. Hey, this is an action movie with Momoa, yeah, we're gonna go see it. But this is something that it's gonna have something for everyone, no matter their taste. You're gonna have fun. There's comedy in there, especially when they're always downing snacks, which is always hilarious.
I actually have 100. Actually, here, give me a second.
Oh God. Dre and his snacks. But this was our honorable mentions, but there you go. Dre's all about the snacks and the merch. But also Dre is also I'll let him put his headphones back on.
Hey, Huntrix, don't quit, man.
Yeah. Plus Dre is secretly all about the Saja Boys.
Dude, I listen. Romance is the funniest one. I get because I like my man tries to rap in his song, but that's just me. But again, I also I'm such a fan. I've become such a fan. Like the day that I think they Loungefly dropped a bunch of shit, I pre-ordered it. I didn't even think twice about it. Like Peanut is such a fan of Rumi, just like me. We both love Rumi's character. I can't like Rumi. Peanut has told me, you can't like Rumi, Papa. And I'm like, but he's my favorite character. But she's like, no.
But the music, the visuals, everything it's done right. Even though we have to wait a couple of years for the next one, I'm all for it. I mean, what the actual voice, the singers for the Saja Boys are actually going to be an actual band. They want.
Genu was here in Charlotte, not in Charlotte. He was in Durham. Was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. He was here. We're
gonna move on to our next pick.
This is the #1.
As soon as Dre's done crackling his
Sorry.
bottle there.
You've been sneezing and everything and making snotty sounds. I just cracked the bottle. We're gonna get on me about a bottle. All right.
Yeah. Damn straight.
Let's go. Now, see.
Go, Dre.
You can tell me to go. I was gonna go anyway, bro. We desperately needed a reboot for Fantastic Four. I'm not gonna get into the reasons why people hate this film. I think the people that hate this film are stupid because by all means, you can be entitled to your opinion, but when you start saying that Reed Richards is not Latino, who gives a shit? Pedro Pascal does an amazing job as Reed Richards. Yeah, Krasinski could have done a great job, but he wouldn't have been the Reed Richards we needed for this film. This film was Vanessa Kirby's Invisible Woman was the star. And I say this taking my wife to this film, and my wife was the one person to say, this movie doesn't feel like it's about the family. It feels like she's the leader of the team. And that everybody else kind of falls in line behind.
Isn't that how it usually goes in families, though?
But that's in my family, that's kind of how it is. First Steps is an apropos kind of name because this was their first official film going into phase 6, this is the important phase because we're getting the bangers. You know, Wonder Man's next week. Literally next Tuesday, Wonder Man. That's part of this phase. We're getting Brand New Day Spider-Man, Bernthal's Punisher special, Bernthal and Hulk in Brand New Day. We're then getting Doomsday in the fall. This is the year that Marvel's like, I have to fix, and the Russos are going out to fix what they felt went wrong with phase 4 and 5. And I appreciate that because there were a lot of bangers, but there was a lot more failures than there were bangers. And this movie was just that. I think First Steps is a great way to reintroduce characters without it having that, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not reintroducing the same, like Dave said, it's not food fatigue. This wasn't like sequelitis. It wasn't like, oh God, we're getting another Fantastic Four film. Ah, shit. No, it felt like we're getting a Fantastic Four film where the characters are already established. We don't have to worry about getting to know the origin.
Is it a reboot? Sure, but it's not a traditional reboot.
No, it's not a reboot at all. I don't consider this a reboot at all. This film is a fantastic, much like Superman was. You're putting me into the action. You're dropping me right into.
It's already established
the story and the established lore.
We know how they become heroes. Cosmic rays that we've seen it 1,000 times, just like with Superman, just like with Batman. We know the origin. So,
but this, one of the many reasons I enjoyed this was the nods to the comics, the nod to Jack Kirby and Stan Lee working in their studio, and to see the pages on the wall, the nod to a character that people really never thought about. Paul Walter Hauser doing an amazing job as Mole Man. I mean, this just gives me so many inklings and desires to see how is Vanessa Kirby gonna react to Namor. You know, and because there's always been this kind of pull love romance between those two characters. I mean, the fact that this was the perfect movie to say, I'm beginning this phase and we're ending on Secret Wars, but we need you to get to understand the big bads in this, and to end the film where my hairs are standing up on my arms because I saw this movie twice in the theaters, man. To sit there and to see Doom on screen, and we already know what's coming. It's like, man, I mean, you gave me the perfect sandwich of a movie.
That they made Galactus look correct.
Oh, he was finally done right. Silver Surfer was him. Shala Bal, which again, for you comic book haters, she is one of the heroes of Galactus, and she is
even canon. I know.
So don't argue, well, this one wasn't canon. Quasar, Norrin Rad, the Silver Surfer, Shala Bal, who was actually one of the wives of the Silver Surfer. Thor is actually a herald of Galactus as well. So was Doom. But again, people don't want to look in that. Go read your comic books, folks. Anyway, I'm not going to go and do that verbal diary on that. Go see this film if you haven't watched it. I own the Steelbook. It is by far one of the best movies I saw last year. I will die on the hill that I cannot wait. I already love that we saw in the teasers to see Doomsday that we got Thing, and I love that we're going to see him in the universe already, and I love the actor, Eben is an amazing actor. If you watch Bear, which is a great show,
And
hands
it's
down.
kind of funny the cooking scene with him.
That's
It's
why
hilarious.
I loved it. It's like a nod to him doing the Bear, and I actually started watching the Bear because of that show, or because of the movie. Go watch it. It's to borrow the parlance.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. It is.
I mean, now, some people might be wondering, well, Dave, you didn't have Fantastic Four as in your picks. No, I didn't, because one, I liked the movie. I enjoyed the hell out of the movie, but after I left the theater, I didn't feel it like resonating as much as the other films that we picked today.
Wait, can you pause for 1 second?
Sure.
Ultra, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
Oh, about which one?
Pedro Pascal's. When he goes there. All right. So he is actually big. I'm going to rewind this. They're not from the universe they're in. If you did not catch that, that's the big teaser that we're going to find out in Doomsday. That they're from the 616. That their trip into space was not treated on their world. They're not from the 838, which is what we saw in the Multiverse of Madness. That's Krasinski's Reed Richards, which makes sense because that's an ultimate Reed Richards. That's an alternate to the beginning of a different line. This Reed Richards was the perfect 616 complementary, one that knew he wasn't where they were supposed to be. They were trying to fix where they were from. And this is trying to figure out his place in that universe with his family. So the MCU is the 616. But no, it's not. That's wrong. 19999 is not the same. I can argue this, Ultra, and I'm going to tell you, I hate to say this, I'm going to burst your bubble. 19999 was not, that's from the Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse, not from the typical Marvel. You can't. Sony and Marvel have argued this back and forth. 19999 is not even the right Earth because that was a blonde-haired Peter Parker, so that's an alternate universe. 616 is common. It's been in the comic book vernacular. It is the typical MCU, and you can Google that and just find it for yourself. Just gonna put that out there. Sorry, Dave, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I saw when someone challenges the comic book dude, I gotta put them in their place a little bit and say like, "Hey, I'm sorry, you're wrong."
Like Dre said, Fantastic Four, it's, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It is, I mean, here's one thing I will sprinkle on the subject of Fantastic Four. It's the best Fantastic Four movie. Now, I say that even though I really do enjoy the first one with Chris Evans, Julian McMahon as Dr. Doom. To me, those were some of the to me, that was great. When I think Johnny Storm,
Roger Corman? The Roger Corman?
No.
Oh,
Julian McMahon. This is the one with Chris Evans.
Got you. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I was asking.
We do not speak about the Roger Corman movie.
Oh, we do because it exists and it was treated as canon as per this film.
And at some points, the Outer Dimension podcast may do some kind of a watch party in the future, possibly.
I have to find that somewhere.
And we will do it MST3K style if we need to.
Oh, we need Archer for that one to come in there and be the straight guy.
We may do a watch party possibly for that one on Discord. It won't be streamed, or maybe our comments will be streamed, but the actual movie won't.
Yeah,
we will do something. We'll do something because I think that would be a very interesting experience. But Pedro Pascal, for me, I was apprehensive about watching him as Reed Richards because we had never seen him play a science type, a very technical person before.
Mandalorian doesn't count, folks.
Okay. No. And even Mandalorian, he's not a very tech guy, really, if you think about it. But not everyone killed it in here.
He's more of like, I think of him more like Rambo.
Even
like he knows how to put a gun together, but you couldn't tell him to go build a supercomputer because he couldn't rebuild a ship.
But even our boy Eddie from Eddie Munson Stranger Things as Johnny Storm.
He killed
It
it.
was great. It was a different kind of Johnny because this is more, he definitely runs on his emotions, but he was more sciencey. Even he was more sciencey.
I think
Being
that
able
was
to
a tribute
to
to the
decipher the
Fantastic.
language, to decipher the language and everything. I mean, this was a different take on it, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. I can't wait for more. Definitely, the teaser scene at the end was. I mean,
I think the best one we've seen in a long time.
that's what you call an MCU mic drop right there.
But you know what though? We could both agree that as bad as the Fantastic Four movie was,
Hey, what's up, Vern?
2015, I think that Michael B. Jordan, because he was the smart guy that was just a pain in the ass, but he was super intelligent, and I think that was kind of their way of giving it a nod, showing that like anybody that's played that's played Human Torch has done extremely well. Michael B. Jordan, example, Killmonger.
Chris
Evans, Captain fucking America. you can't lose that one.
America's ass.
It's America's ass.
But I could do this all day long. But I mean, nothing against Michael B. Jordan's portrayal of Johnny Storm, but I mean, for the most part, when we think of comics, when we think of the cartoons, we think of the other versions. Johnny's usually, he's a hothead, and he's not really a hothead in this one.
He was a wise ass. I liked him though.
Yeah. And like him and Ben were more like brothers, really. If you think about it,
but that's what they are. But they treated them like they did that.
Yeah.
So that relationship,
there was no
so
pranking,
perfect.
Pranking each other.
No, when he took the toy out the box, it's clobbering time. Flame on. And he just breaks it. There's many moments.
They made Ben look great, just like he does in the comics, because they had him wearing like regular clothes, and it's a great movie. For me, it just wasn't in my top 3. But the reason why, top 5, yeah, I'll consider for top 5. Now for me, I went with Sinners because it hit on so many friggin' levels. Let's be honest, Michael B. Jordan is a phenomenal actor. Came a long way from, you heard me say earlier, All My Children on ABC. Was a soap opera actor way back when. Like the adopted son of Erica Kane, Susan Lucci. I mean, he was on there for like 10, maybe 12 years. He was on there for a good minute on there. But to see someone who, like, they got their start from a soap opera, and Creed. I mean, he's done so many great friggin' films. I mean, yeah, he killed it as Killmonger, no pun intended. Just saying, like he has transcended. I mean, he just doesn't do everything. What was it? So was it Fruitvale Station? Was that the one movie he did? It was kind of like an indie film.
There was that.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Then he did the other film with the superpower, the kids with the powers. God, what was it called? It was like when they got their powers from and stuff.
That not the Project Almanac. It was something else.
No,
I know what you're talking about.
It wasn't Super 8. It was. I'll Google it. Give me a sec. Because I remember watching it and I was like, he did. Yeah, Fruitvale Station was that independent one he did in 2013, and that was good. It was Chronicle in 2012.
Okay,
that was the one that I felt was.
That was a good one.
That was a great, and that was kind of his. But for all those that don't know, Michael B. Jordan is a huge anime fan and comic book nerd. Like huge. Like he knows his anime. Like my big hero, My Hero Academia fan.
I mean, as much as Cavill is one of us, he's one of us too.
Oh yeah, and you don't always expect that.
Fern's putting Minecraft. Tron Ares. Yeah, listen, I enjoyed Tron Ares would be in my top 5.
Yeah. Mission Impossible definitely would put the Mission Impossible would make my top 5, but because I think that was a great finale to the series.
Frankenstein was good too on Netflix. That was good. Guillermo.
I need to watch it.
Yeah, it's
Ballerina. That's another good one. Not great.
Yeah.
Top 10. Ballerina would make my top 10, but Tron is not making my top 10. It made me make my top 20, but it wouldn't make my top 10 or top 5. Tron Ares was great, but it's visually beautiful.
but Sinners, I mean, of course, Mrs. Josh Allen, Haley Steinfeld, phenomenal in here. And like Dre said earlier, this is a film where this isn't necessarily a knockout, drag out consistently as a vampire movie. I mean, we do get the Hunters right in the beginning, and I want a spinoff. I want a sequel or a prequel with the Hunters to see how they became, and there's just so much potential there. I mean, this could get ripped wide open as a TV series. I mean, now hear me out.
1980s.
No, I didn't do it that though, but that worked. That
was very perfectly timed, Dave. I love it.
But I mean, think about this. Think about like the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie with Christy Swanson. But then what? 10 some odd years later, they decide to, hey, let's make it into a full-blown TV series, ripped the canon wide open and the potential for it. It ran for what, 8 seasons? And then the spin-off of Angel ran for 5 seasons, I think. So, yeah. I mean, you could do something like that here, where you open up the world of not just the Hunters, you can open up the world of the vampires, because the vampires were definitely a different kind of breed of vampire. And I really dug it. I mean, we don't get Irish vampires all that often.
Well, and the thing is, he's not he's not Dracula. Like, that was the thing too. It kind of like it had a whole spin different on vampirism. You know, it was more like Bram Stoker vampirism than it was like. And it was almost like Guillermo del Toro. It almost had like a preacher evangelist kind of way of talking to people. Oh yeah, no, he was a snake oil salesman. That guy was a complete snake oil salesman. Loved his character. That guy needs to be a villain in another film.
But it deals with racism on many levels, not just for African Americans, but also for Asian.
100%.
Okay. It's as someone who, you heard me say before, I DJ'd during my high school years, but also when I went to college, I did history of popular music, which goes all the way from the field howlers of the 1860s all the way through the 1960s. And having the present of music and seeing the different evolution of music. And there's one scene in this film where it's like if you were to rip a hole in past, present, and future and bring all levels of African American music and all of his genres and bring it into one scene. It was just a celebration of music. I've never seen anything like that in film, and I wonder if we'll even see something like that ever again. It was
that was cooler.
It was transcendent. I think is the one word for it. This film killed it. You got these two brothers who they served in the military. They're trying to make their money any way they possibly can, because I mean that's how it was back then. But it was just I don't think I've ever seen a movie quite like this before, and I doubt that we'll see something like this again. It resonated with me. I had to watch it a few more times when it was on streaming. I mean, it's just something that I don't know. It even after you watch it, it kind of has a hold on you. That's what it did with me. It resonated with me. To me, I still say that this is the best movie of the year. And that's saying, considering some of the other movies we talked about. Superman is a great big popcorn movie. Badlands was a great movie. But to me, Sinners was the best film of the year because it gave us, let's be honest, we've had tons of vampire shows, movies, and it's kind of the same kind of sequence, right? But this was a whole different flavor to it. And we had some amazing ass actors in here. Delroy Lindo in here. Haven't seen him in a movie for a long time. I mean, they had really great people in here, and it was just the visuals. Everything was just so amazing. I do love that post-credit scene. Or that mid-credit scene.
That scenes were both well done. But again, here's where I'm going to burst the bubble. I feel like when you do those post-credit scenes, it's leaving the audience to believe there's going to be more. Fantastic Four did that with Doom because we already know the next big bad is Doom. You don't want to jump to the 1980s from the 1940s or 30s and not give me 50 years of just like what the hell happened. And then when I get to the end of the film, it's like, wait a second, like, you mean to tell me y'all been around? Like, and you don't know what's going on. It
makes you wonder.
Circle, which I get that, but it feels like it to be more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it definitely leaves you wanting more, and it makes you wonder, hey, could Coogler or would he ever? We already know that he won't because he's not a sequel person. You know, he doesn't like to beat a dead horse, which is respect. However, wouldn't you love to see an interview with a vampire type story, though, of them over the ages?
100%. That's what I was thinking. That if it was me, I would love to see another director do that kind of style. Interview with maybe like a musician and like kind of see the time, how the music changed and evolved from like that blues to the hip hop to like kind of samba, and then like kind of go into that like storyline of like, well, because we're given a lot of background information in that post-credit scene to kind of fill in the blanks of what we thought was happening. But then it still leaves us to wonder, like, is there more? Will we see more? Could they have done more?
What if, obviously Sammy survived that night, right? Obviously we know this. Mm-hmm. But who's to say that he hasn't seen other supernatural events throughout his long life?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
not necessarily the vampires, but maybe other darknesses, because like it's alluded, with the guitar playing. I mean, we know the story of the Crossroads and the Crossroads guitar. I mean, I would love to see just seeing it through the eyes of Sammy, telling a story, and I mean, there's a lot that they could do with that.
And again, if you do it in the way that this movie did it, which from a historian's perspective, it's very well themed to the
Sitter's Crossroads.
Like, I mean, there was a idea that I sent you the link to when these people were like fan casting like a Sinner's universe where they would do like kind of how like James Wan did with The Conjuring, where like there was these films that would be like splinters off of the main movie, and then eventually it was going to be like Sinners the 1980s, and it was going to be like a story of them in the 80s and kind of like picking up where the movie leaves off. But then there was like, them during World War II. Then it was going to be like, the vampires backstory and like how he got to the Americas. And then we would do a TV show about the Native Americans and why they're vampire hunters and how vampirism was already here in America. Hence why the lore was already here. There was so many ideas that they touched on, but we'll never know what they are.
You get those Taylor Sheridan TV shows, all his Yellowstones and different stuff. It'd be great if they could crack open Sinners and explore it. But I get that Coogler, he does the one-off stories. He doesn't like to, like we said, beat a dead horse, so to speak. Because we've seen what one great film does, and hey, now we want to make a sequel, and those sequels don't necessarily land. One perfect example, the Crow movies. The first Crow movie was phenomenal. The sequels, City of Angels was but they got progressively worse.
They were bad, but one of those sequels was not as bad as the rest of them. You and I both talked about that too. There is, I think, City of Salvation was like the last one that was good. If you took the first one and that one and said these are, because they were comic book accurate, then you would say, okay, these are good stories. But the rest of those were just really bad drivel that were just let's make money off of an IP.
Yeah, I mean. That's my one thing. Sinners was just, it's still like if someone says, "Hey, you want to watch Sinners?" I'm going to sit down and like, "Hey, let's make some popcorn. Let's order some food."
Oh yeah.
It's just a good film. It's written well. It's acted well.
Don't watch it with the kids. I will say that as a parent, do not watch it with the kids. There are some adult. There are a lot of adult themes in that film.
Don't watch it with the kidlets.
My teenager, she would watch it. I would let her watch it. She's 16. Anybody below 14, you probably want to let them not be in the room when it's on, because Sinners does have a lot of adult themes in there. Not the alcohol abuse or smoking cigarettes. There are a lot of overt sexual themes that, as a parent, indeed, I would say you do need to be mindful of, and maybe the hyper violence towards the end of the film can be a little bit much for a young mind. I mean, Dave and I always joke about this, that we saw RoboCop, Basic Instinct, and Predator, and we turned out just fine. And I'm a proponent of not hiding those things, but if I can keep my 5-year-old,
but we're a different generation than the
exactly the newer generation,
the millennials and the Xennials, or whatever you want to call them,
whatever the hell they're called now. But I think that a lot of these films you can sit down and watch, with a family and enjoy. Badlands, it's fictional violence. It's robots and aliens. I think it's like, kids watch it on TV all the time. I think that once you get to Sinners, that's a whole different level of film. I think it has a little bit more of an intellectual depth to it that I love. That, like Dave said, it's it tells a very concise story in a closed loop. Do we wish the loop was open more? I do hope Coogler decides to say, "Hey, I'll sell this IP," because we've seen it with Anne
There's
Rice.
A lot of wiggle room. I mean, people said they wanted to see the story of the brothers when they were in war. That's one thing.
100%. I'd love to see that. World War I.
Trey and I both want to see the Hunters. We want to see the story of them.
100%.
1,000%. And that we see that Sammy meets them decades later, and it almost seems like they're willing to turn him, and he's still no. He wants to live his life like he should. There's so many. It's just a freaking home run all over the place.
It is, and I'll just add this as my caveat. I think both these films are two examples of very good storytelling. One, I think, does a better job at world building than the other does, but I think the world building for Sinners is done to be in what I would call like a biome. It's its own little homeostasis. It's meant for you to understand its self-contained story. Like, again, I can pray and wish and hope, but I think that it's not unlike Anne Rice's universe, where we've got an Interview with a Vampire, Talamasca, Mayfair Witches, which I'm huge now into, Queen of the Damned. I'm into all that whole universe now. I've been huge on it for the last several months, watching it all and digesting it. I think that her universe was meant to be that way because her son wanted that. Coogler is not telling that story, and I think that that's okay. But I would hope that because a lot of these actors are now contracted to Marvel, it can be a little difficult, and a lot of them have their own solo projects. So
I'm going to say this: if we ever decide to do an Anne Rice show, we will have to tag in a person who's never been on the stream before, someone who's in the other room, because she is a big Anne Rice fan.
Oh, I am too.
That would be Mrs. Dimension. Because she loves her. She's watching the Mayfair, which is awesome. She loves Interview with the Vampire is one of my wife's. She loves Anne Rice films. She loves the vampires.
Well, the TV show's amazing, and I love how Talamasca has kind of given us offshoots of understanding the witches, the vampires, other supernatural. That's why I was saying that we're going to do a lot more. You can make us bigger, Dave. So one thing I noticed in the time away is that a lot of people were asking us to talk about a lot of the current TV shows that are out. And Dave and I were kind of against the idea because there's YouTubers that do that, right? But if we do a good job at what we do, talking about older shows, maybe we could sprinkle a few of those in. And there are several. Like, I just finished Percy Jackson season 2, and I'm frustrated at the end.
I haven't even watched it, sorry. I know of it, just haven't watched it.
The second season ended on such a flop for me that I'm very upset with it. Granted, they did say we're getting season 3 this year, so maybe that'll be its way to fix it. But I was very upset. Like, the show led up to this very good, what I thought was going to be a crescendo, and it doesn't. There's like fallouts finishing out in a couple more episodes, which that show's been very hit or miss with the fan base. It's hitting for me, but
I just watched episode 6 last night.
Then we have Star Trek Starfleet Academy, which is killing it.
Third episode, and it's not your average Star Trek.
Which is why I enjoy it. There's a lot of good shows.
It's a different Star Trek all onto its own, and I believe we will be doing an episode possibly talking about that. Hopefully,
I don't think eventually. Episode. I want to wait. I want to probably wait till the season's over probably.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about like mid-season or anything. No, once we're full the whole with its freshman season.
Yeah, because I think
pun intended.
Very well said. I like the vernacular freshman season because that's obviously how they use it in television. But there's a lot of good shows that I think we will be touching on. You guys did mention a couple of movies that I've been wanting to talk about, and I've seen.
I know we're talking about F1.
I've seen F1
Amateur.
I've seen. I haven't seen.
I haven't seen that. Ballerina was great. That was a banger.
I have that.
Frankenstein was really good. I loved Guillermo del Toro's take on Frankenstein was really good.
Well, he's just another great one when it comes to storytelling. He's a huge anime nerd. He loves his stuff. So I'm definitely probably gonna like it.
And the actors that he has in there.
I mean, Oscar Isaac's just. He said it. You gave another three Latinos he's like 3 Latinos on stage when he's done that. I'm impressed with them. He's killing it. So,
I mean, we had Frankenstein. I mean, the visuals in there were just phenomenal. He had Christoph Waltz.
Love Waltz. Love me some.
He's just friggin' phenomenal. I mean, it's a good film. At times, it might seem a little slow because you have to tell the story. But the visuals, everything, he friggin' killed it. He friggin' killed it. It is definitely up there as a movie you definitely should watch. I know it's a story we've seen 1,000 times over, but it's Guillermo del Toro. I mean, and I love that Ron Perlman, side note, has said that even at his age, they could put him in a rubber suit, so he still has the Hellboy physique, and he would still do a third Hellboy. Just make it happen, Guillermo. Come on.
Well,
please.
Again,
please.
Dave and I, like I said, we've talked about what we're probably gonna be bi-weekly or at least twice a month. We definitely said 2 times a month. We'll try to maybe squeeze in a third if we can, but it'll definitely be because Dave's schedule with conventions and other things like just our personal lives, because we do like to enjoy our personal time with our family.
Stream for the Cure.
We have Stream for the Cure.
I'm still trying to figure out logistics for that. Not too sure how that's going to work this year. Dre and I are going to be working on that. But usually that doesn't happen until end of April, early May. So keep an eye out for updates on that. You can find that on, of course, the Outer Dimensions podcast. We'll give a little update here or there, but also you can just follow Dave's _dimension on Instagram for the best updates. I'll be posting there for once we have an idea for Stream for the Cure as far as logistics. It may be 8 hours. We're not sure about the time frame. We'll see what happens. It also depends on the schedule. There's a lot of things going on in life for both Dre and I. We have some crazy hectic schedules. If you notice, I actually went live multiple times this week, mostly because I was trying to do a test stream for Talk Studio here, because that is our budget-friendly streaming platform, because we're not going to be paying $50 a month for StreamYard. Neither of us are monetized. This is out of our own pocket that we do this. And we do this because we enjoy doing these streams. We enjoy chopping things up live with you guys, because the discussions Dre and I have, these are exactly the discussions we have when we're off camera. It is exactly like it.
Yeah, we are.
No filters, no fluff. We don't leave a legacy of fluff on the people out there. Giggity. But
damn, Dave, man, you trying to get us canceled our first episode back? Oh. Shit, Dave. Like, you gotta go slow. You gotta go easy. You don't give them the hop tour. Gotta.
they can't cancel us
Yeah.
because we don't have sponsors. We're our own sponsors, so they can't.
I know.
Sponsors
Well,
can't pull out.
I approve your message.
So
There you go. I approve your
I'm
message.
just saying.
But in
I'm
all
just
honesty,
saying.
Dave and I.
What's our next episode going to be, Dre? Do you have any thoughts?
I do. We made a comment about it. I'm going to be reaching out tomorrow to Travis, and I'll be reaching out to at least one other fan because we have talked about this, and it'll be post the Rumble, our next episode. So, being that we will be post the Royal Rumble, I felt like it would be very apropos to talk about what's going to be looking for Mania season. It's going to be the first Saudi Rumble. It's going to be the first one night Rumble. I think they were going to try to do 2 nights. I kind of would like to talk a little bit more wrestling because we do, as here on the Dimension, we do like wrestling. A lot of major talent has made moves between AEW, TNA, and WWE.
So the next Outer Dimension is going to be a Outer Dimension wrestling podcast.
We're going to be talking some wrestling. I said I'm going to talk to Travis. You can get Travis on because he did say he would be 1,000% behind it. And I think we might want to talk to your boy and see if he'd like to come on there as well. Because
are we going to talk a little AJ?
We might, because we do know that AJ has. This is a big year for anybody that's not a professional wrestling fan. You could tune out of the show now. But for anybody that is a wrestling fan, there are going to be 2 major retirements this year. You'll be seeing the retirement of the phenomenal AJ Styles from in-ring competition. As far as everybody's saying, it will be at Mania. It will be his last match. And then at SummerSlam,
that's all I'm saying.
At SummerSlam, no, it's going to be Gunther. They're going to retire him. They've already kind of got that storyline built in. And the retirement of Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Brock. I mean,
that's a big one. Those are 2 big names. And then next year we have what was it? I think they said 2027 was not Rey Mysterio. It was Randy Orton.
Okay.
But we also have been talking about Chris Jericho and Powerhouse Hobbs, who has already signed his contract with WWE, and he's going to go under the name Royce Keys. And people are talking about him having big things. He's 34 years old, big monster of a man. I think he's going to look awesome. I think we're going to see a lot of big changes because they're making some good moves on SmackDown and Raw.
I mean,
NXT has been a big thing too. Trick Williams is blowing up on SmackDown. My brother-in-law, who did not know who Trick Williams was, has now started watching NXT shows of the past to get to understand who he is. I mean, we have a lot of good things. I think with the retirement of some of the older guys, we're going to see these younger guys coming up. I think we're going to see some power. I
don't think AJ's going to lose that match.
I think he won't. He may. No, he may. Because he can't have Gunther and Gunther
tonight. Saturday night main events with him and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, and Shinsuke's going to take the L. Yeah. I'm okay with that because that's a rematch of their Wrestle Kingdom from 5 years ago with Nakamura, or longer than that because I've been with my wife now 7-8 years. So that was almost 9 years ago when AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura shared Wrestle Kingdom for the IWGP Heavyweight title when AJ was in Bullet Club. And I think that's kind of a cool little nod. Hope they mention that again. Saturday Night Main Event tonight. You have Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes. The match that they're talking about is Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre at the Rumble for the belt. Let's go.
Be interesting
if that happens. But again, I think that I want to bring Travis on because he's huge as a wrestling fan. I think Double D would be another guy we could bring on too because he's also a huge wrestling fan. And it'd be kind of good to have the 4 minds get together and just chat some wrestling and kind of see what prospectively will be happening post Rumble. Mania season really happens at the Rumble. We'll see who's going to go in. We know there's going to be some major motions for the women and men. A lot of injuries right now, so a lot of people are making their pushing in. Like Stratton's supposedly training to come back because she had a mild concussion. You have Charlotte Flair going to a part-timer schedule right now. you have a lot of guys that are retiring, a lot of young guys coming up hungry, a lot of guys that are not on TV. Street Profits,
I'll
Miro.
admit, I would like to see a certain person in the audience, possibly, for AJ's final match, whenever that should be.
Who? Cena? No, I don't want Cena to be there. If I want anybody to be there, I'd like Christopher Daniels. I'd like Kazarian. I'd like Samoa Joe. I know that that's really taboo because it's AEW, and I know that that would be a huge. AEW had a big issue with Ricky Starks coming to see Cody Rhodes. I would like that to be the case where they could say Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, we're going to let you guys just do your thing because that's your best friend.
Do you see any push for Cardona this year?
I don't see a push yet for Cardona. I think Cardona is.
Think he needs to make some waves first?
I think if everything's going the way the dirt sheets are saying, expect Chris Jericho, Hobbs, now Royce Keys, and Killer Cross to be 3 big names that are going to come back at the Rumble.
What's going to come out first? Are we going to get Jericho actually showing up finally?
Jericho's last.
Grand Theft Auto 6 or Legend of
Grand Theft Auto 6 delayed already again. But yeah, I think that was something I told my brother-in-law too. I said, yeah, you can't argue this one. But,
I mean, we thought we were going to get Jericho already.
Well, no, Jericho's on tour right now with Fozzy because he was supposed to. People were saying, "Oh, he's going to be a show." He's on tour with Fozzy right now. He's in California, so and they're saying that next week at the Rumble,
Miss Piggy, they're all on tour.
We'll see what's going to happen, but again, I think the next episode will be our wrestling episode because it was something that a lot of people have expressed an interest in us doing.
Yes, sir.
A little tick away from the movie talk, and then I think our next episode after that will be Oscar talk. Our picks for what should be in the Oscars because the Oscar list is going to be out, if not already. Golden Globes already happened, so the Oscar list is out and people are looking to vote
for best sound editing. Predator Badlands.
Well, we're not gonna go into all that. I think we usually just look at the best actor, supporting actor.
I was just saying that that's probably the only way it would win an Oscar, probably because of the quote unquote powers that be in that realm.
Because you never have a sci-fi film or like a fantasy film ever win unless it's like Peter Jackson, or Guillermo del Toro or something like that.
But the
Labyrinth or something
K-pop
like that.
better win some.
Oh, it's gonna win Best Animation because I told you Zootopia was its only competition.
Music.
Unless the only other film that they really would put in there, and this is my personal heart going out to it, would be Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer Infinity Castle was by far one of the best animated films I had seen. And I saw that prior to seeing K-pop Demon Hunters. And I think Demon Slayer should win it because it is a very long movie, but it is a great way to start winding down the story. But it probably will just get a nomination, but it won't win. I think Zootopia is going to get a nomination, not win. And I think K-pop Demon Hunters is going to win just on the fact that it's probably one of the most popular IPs out there right now. Especially with the fact that more merch is getting pumped out right now before Oscar season. I feel like it alludes to that.
So already pre-ordering the Hot Toys. We know this.
Oh, when they come out, this face. Look at this face. The minute those Hot Toys go up for pre-order, I'm getting Rumi. I'll get all 3 of them. I don't really want all 3 of them. I just want Rumi.
And then next year they announced the Sasha Boys.
They announced the Sasha Boys and Genu. That's mine. I'm buying them. I told Dave I'm getting them. He doesn't believe me until they're on the shelf behind me. They will be there.
Oh, I'm sure. It's going to happen.
But that's pretty much the plan, folks. It'll be a wrestling talk. So if you're not into wrestling talk, it's okay.
Check us out 2 weeks later then.
Check us out when we do our Oscar picks. But I think that we love wrestling, and I feel like we have a lot of fandom in wrestling.
Yes.
It's like, what did Brick say? It's sports talk because he's not into sports talk. So it's a lot of sports talk for the non-nerds that are into the sports. So we'll be talking about that stuff. Maybe even dropping a little bit about Benito being in the Super Bowl because I will mention that his teaser video for the Super Bowl is the number one thing about the Super Bowl. It's been in the last 20 years.
We woke Rogue Demon Hunter up. Wait.
They have not made them yet. Lego is coming out with a Lego set supposedly by the summer as part of what I've heard. So Dave knows what to get his niece, the littlest one, for her birthday. When she turns 6, he can get her a K-pop Demon Hunter Lego kit because that's what she would want. The Papa, big Papa me, I want the actual Hot Toys, which they've already announced. I'm waiting for them to. I think they're waiting till Oscar weekend when the movie gets picked for the best Oscar. Then I think they're going to put them out for pre-order probably the next day or that weekend. So we'll see.
Ultrasan, do you expect me to talk more into wrestling figures?
Well, we don't want to talk figures at all. I'm going to be very honest. This channel is going to be more channel.
Yeah. We will be talking about wrestling.
Yes.
Although someone in this group has started to slowly acquire more wrestling figures, but that's just
I'm a point at
slowly but surely.
Well, wait, I'm on this side. So
I'll move you over. There you go.
Yeah. But swap me. Yeah. So
there you go.
Yeah, this way.
This way.
This guy, because he had a good Christmas. Somebody had a good Christmas because they blessed him with that. But then I got this.
Yeah, we can talk about
that. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna leave it at, folks. So don't feel like you can't talk toys in the chat. You guys can do that with each other. We're not gonna talk about it because we're not a toy channel. Because this economy sucks. Some people can't afford to buy toys, and I'm not in the mood to kind of like hawk a toy out there and feel like we're selling it. So It's up to you. And I'm gonna always hijack you. It's my channel with Dave. We could you forget, my man. When we are the tag team champions, we're the ones that hold the belts. We can dictate the rules. So I can say I don't like a title.
But if you guys are into toy collecting, there is a stream that will be starting very soon that we would like to send you guys over to. Ostradamus Toys on the Clubhouse every Saturday night at around 10:15ish p.m. Eastern Time. You can go ahead and type in Ostradamus Toys, just the way it's spelled on the screen. Go ahead and check them out. They do just about everything. They're heavy into Motu. They have some guys that are into G.I. Joes. They're heavy into the Mythic Legions, the Cosmic Legions. So go ahead and please check them out. Oh, we summoned.
Look it, we
summoned Kenzo.
Say his name. Is it Joe Hendry? Say his name and he appeared. You said Motu. That's when he got his ears tingling. He heard Clubhouse and Motu, and he was like, "Woo!"
I said that like the guy from the Penguin movie. But no, Kenzo's Creations, and I did congratulate Kenzo when the Broncos beat the Bills. I sent him a private message on Instagram congratulating his team. They're moving on to the onto the next step, of course. I wish him the best of luck.
Where's my hello? I get nothing. No love.
But Kenzo's Creations, he's one of the madmen, the man collectors that you will see on Ostradamus Toys Clubhouse every Saturday night. And Kenzo's also been doing a lot of live streams during the weeknights too. So go ahead and check him out. He makes some amazing figures, man. So please go ahead and check him out. A lot of great customs. But Kenzo, thank you for popping through. I'm sure you're probably getting ready to hop onto Oz's stream. But anyone who's watching this, go ahead and check out Ostradamus Toys. Check out the Clubhouse. They're getting ready for a snow apocalypse. So go ahead, watch them open up some toys, let them talk toys. They don't just do it for like an hour or two. They go until the wee hours of the morning.
We've gone till Sunday morning before breakfast. I've had so much fun with them. I've made Kenzo being one of the brothers me and Dave have become close with. Even though he don't say hi to me.
Yeah, he's got a tough one tomorrow.
He appreciates you. Look, no love. I get it.
Hey.
I get it. I'm just gonna put my tears away.
But guys, thank you for coming out. And those who might be just tuning in right now, you can always catch us on Replay Squad. Again, the Outer Dimension podcast, we are going to be doing a stream at 8 o'clock on Saturday nights every 2 weeks. We're going to be 1 week we're on, 1 week we're off, depending on the schedules. And like Dre said, there may be a few times where maybe there's a third episode each month. But go ahead, follow us either on the Outer Dimensions podcast on YouTube, also streaming at the Dave's Dimension YouTube channel. You can find us on Instagram, the Outer Dimensions podcast on IG, Dave's _Dimension on Instagram. And of course, you can always email us at the Outer Dimensions podcast at gmail.com should you have any episode ideas, or maybe you would like to come on to the stream. You want to be a guest? You want to discuss something that we haven't chopped up before? Hit us up and please let us know. Dre, do you have any final words for tonight's episode?
Nothing else except that, enjoy your evening. Go jump onto the Clubhouse. I think they're amazing, and I love my brothers and sisters over on that show. And because my wife is blowing up my phone and being very mad at me because I was supposed to be done about 30 minutes ago, we're going to end it on the watching your head as you exit the portal. We will catch you on the flip side.
Take care,
Peace
guys.
out.
Dre and Dave hit it hard in the dark, spinning tales from the void, never bark. Movie shows, they tear apart. Dimensions clash, they ignite the spark.